Hello friends, hello loves. Today I'm going to be talking about the 5 books that changed my life for real. Like absolutely for real. I want to say first of all before I start, thank you so much for all of the people who have been watching this channel. I'm new to YouTube for this channel. This is my second video and I appreciate the love. This channel, Julia Speaks Love, is all about living your best life, living a positive life, self-love, self-help, personal development, and personal evolution. So today I thought, wow, what really started me on my journey to really living a positive life and really living my best life, and this is a journey that I share with you, I'm still on, right? I'm still on this journey. But what helped me the most really was starting to read. In my first video, I shared with you that when I was 27 years old, I had a switch, right? Where I decided that my sanity was something that I really needed to take care of. Before having a job, before even having security, I really needed to check in with my health. I needed to check in with my mindset, and I wasn't happy, and I needed to figure out why. And I had never really been into reading, you know. I read, you know, here and there. I read, of course, for school and for college or for grad school because I had to. But in terms of like my own leisurely reading, I never really did that. You know, I've always been passionate about film, so that was something that I explored. But reading, I was like, what? No, I don't have time for that. I have too much going on. But one thing that was key in getting my journey started was reading. And so I want to share with you the 5 books that really helped me. Let's start with this one. And these are books that are still on my bookshelf that I still visit. And the first one is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And this book is a magical book because it really starts to open your mindset and open your mind in general to what it means to actually be wealthy, right? I have done many mantras where I think about, you know, I am wealthy, I am abundant, and those things do really help my psyche. But also what helps me is to back it up by getting knowledge from people who have been wealthy, who've been successful. So this book really tells the story of 2 dads, right? A rich dad and a poor dad. And as Robert Kiyosaki explains, he says that, you know, he grew up with a poor dad, but he found a mentor in a rich dad, and one of his best friend's dads. And he shares the knowledge of all that he was able to learn from this mentor, this rich dad, and what he was also able to learn from his own dad, right? About what not to do or what he would like to do differently. And I'm looking at my notes because I wrote down notes. From this book, I really learned that it's very simple. The poor and the middle class work for money, right? And generally when you work for money, you're exchanging your time, your hours, right? For an hourly, you know, rate or a salary. And that's how we make money, right? We think, okay, if I need to make more money, I need to pick up more hours in my job. And that's just how many of us, including myself, have been trained. But what I learned from Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. And while this is a very simple concept, right? The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. What I love about it is it really starts to train your brain to think differently, to think outside of the box. Like, I never thought of money as something that could work for me. You know what I mean? So I learned from this book how to really start to think about how money can work in my favor and how I can start to change my perspective about giving my time for money. Are there other ways I can make money? Are there ways that I haven't even thought about, right? I started to learn about residual income, passive income, assets versus liabilities, right? I didn't even know what these things are. So if you're starting your journey in financial education, or getting more aware of how to accumulate wealth, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is an awesome way to start learning. It's storytelling based, which I really love, and it's so easy to understand and grasp. And it's like a Bible. It's something that you can come back to again and again. The second book I want to talk about is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I absolutely love this book because it really follows Napoleon Hill and his journey to attain wealth, as well as his journey to learn from a lot of mentors who help him to understand how wealth is made, right? Created, circulated, and made over generations and families, right? So it talks about him as a writer and his journey towards working with some of the wealthiest people in the world to this date, right? And so one of the main things that I took from Think and Grow Rich is the importance of the power of your mind. Man, the power of your mind is immense. If you do not have a powerful mindset, if you do not believe in the power and the ability that you have to change your life by changing your mindset, we can say all of these mantras, we can get, really interested in saying things that are positive, but we really have to believe it. And starting to believe it has really a base in getting your subconscious mind to agree with your conscious mind. And so in Think and Grow Rich, I really learned that there is immense power in thought, right? And when you combine your thought with action, the power of your mind can create anything, right? When you combine your thought with action, you can think your way into anything. So that's what I learned from Think and Grow Rich. An amazing book. I love it. The third book I want to talk about is The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. And this book is written such a long time ago, but it is a powerful book. And what this book taught me through, again, it's very storytelling based, but what this book taught me is you really have to pay yourself first. And this is such a simple concept for me to read, but the action and the discipline in being able to do that was immensely challenging for me, right? And in this book, in The Richest Man in Babylon, the suggestion is you give 10% of every paycheck to an account where you're paying yourself. And as you do that, over time, you don't touch that money, over time, getting in the habit of doing it, even if it's $1, right? Even if it's 10 cents, whatever 10% is of the money that's coming in, you take that out every single time, every single paycheck, every single dollar. And you will start to get in the habit of truly building wealth for yourself. Sometimes when we're starting out, we're like, oh, it's 10 cents here, $1 here, $10 here. But that really starts to add up. And one of the things that I've been doing with my own income is making sure that I'm getting in the habit with every paycheck that comes in of putting 10% aside. Now, if I could do more than 10%, I will. If I could do only 5%, okay. But the habit is the important part. And the habit, right, is putting money aside. First things first, once your check comes into your account or once you receive that money, to put some percentage aside that you can manage to put aside. And sometimes it's like you may not think you can put 10% aside, but you actually really can. And it's about moving other things around and seeing what is really necessary for you to pay for, are there things you can cut back on? Are there things that you just have gotten used to spending money on that you don't really need to spend money on, and instead you could save that 10% for something else? So that's stuff that I've really started to question, and it's really helped me for my budgeting, and it's really helped me for my wealth building. So Richest Man in Babylon is an awesome book, and it really helps you to think about your finances and get you in that mode of thinking of the power that you have as an individual to dramatically change your life just by being disciplined and taking small steps. with every piece of money that you earn to change your life. What a great book. The Four Agreements. The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz is such a powerful book. And you know what I love about all these books? The thing I love the most about all these books is like, they're super storytelling based. They are super easy to read and fun to read through, but they are packed with knowledge. And that's what I love the most about them. So in the Four Agreements, basically, what Don Miguel Ruiz does is he breaks down 4 significant principles that all of us should live by in life, right? And the one that stuck with me the most is being impeccable with your word, right? Be impeccable with your word, because your word is your power, right? What you speak, what you say about who you are, about what you're going to do, is you speaking to the universe, right? And bringing things into fruition. There are certain words that I had to learn to stop saying about who I was and about what I am, right? Because any time that you put I am before any word, you are essentially creating whatever that is and bringing more of that, manifesting more of that into your life. So when I read this book, I really learned that there are certain principles that you have to follow, that you really need to stick to. And it's not easy at first, because there's certain things that you're just used to saying because you've said it your whole life and you don't even realize how detrimental it can be to your success, right? One of the words, and I don't really like to say, is the word broke. People say this word about themselves repeatedly, right? And it's like, you don't realize how much that can affect your psyche, how much you're telling your subconscious, yeah, that's what's going on with our life financially, right? But when you start to be impeccable with your word and you start to really think about what that means, you can start to change your life. You can start to pick words like, I am fabulous, I'm fantastic, I'm feeling wealthy today, right? And that dramatically not only shifts your psyche, but it also shifts your entire mood, right? So, honey, the Four Agreements changed my life. I love this book. Please check it out if you haven't already. And the 5th book is The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss. I think this was actually one of the first books I read when I started really working on myself. And this book absolutely changed my life because it taught me about the power of residual income, passive income, right? Thinking outside of the box in terms of the way that you make money, you know? Timothy Ferriss basically in this book really outlines how he dramatically changed his life from working at a job he didn't like to making millions of dollars through his own companies, you know, online. And this book you will eat up. Like, you will read it and there's so much information in it about how you can dramatically change your life. It's like mind-blowing. Seriously, because you start to think like, what have I been doing all my life? You know, like, how have I been operating like this for so long? And the thing that is really key is we have the power of leveraging the internet. You know, we are in a generation that is fortunate enough to have access to the internet, where within seconds you can connect to information, you can upload websites, you can upload videos, you can do so many things and reach so many people within seconds, that if you create a product, right, like this video that I'm doing right now, this eventually will turn into passive income, right? And that simply means that I can make money while I sleep, because this video is being viewed, and then AdSense, right? Working with YouTube will allow me to make money, but I'm not doing this every day. I'm not punching in a clock every day, right? And going to work and creating videos over and over and over and making money only one time from this video, right? I've made this video one time and I can make an endless amount of money from it, right? And that totally differentiates from the hourly wage, right? That most of us are typically used to, where you know exactly how much you're gonna make every 2 weeks because there's only a certain amount of money you make, right? Because you make a certain wage. When you do things where you create a book, right? Or you write a book, or you do a video, or you create a product, any sort of product. The thing is, yes, you have to work super hard on that project, but you only have to do it once. And once you put that product into the universe, right, onto the internet, there's no cap to how much money it can make you. So when you think outside the box and you leverage the internet and you create awesome products, there's no telling how much wealth and abundance you can accumulate. So that's what I learned from the 4-Hour Workweek. It's brilliant, amazing book. And you know what? I want to do a bonus. This book, What I Know for Sure by Oprah Winfrey, is amazing because, I mean, what does Oprah create that's not amazing? She's in my circle of advisors in my mind. She's one of my aunties that I call. I love Oprah. But this book, What I Know for Sure, is amazing because in it she shares the wisdom that she learns. And in the beginning of the book, the way she starts this book is she says that she was being interviewed, and the person that interviewed her said, "Oprah, what's one thing that you know for sure?" And she was like, and she didn't know. And it took her having that question asked to really reflect on how much she knew herself and how much wisdom she had inside of her, right? And the thing is, we all have an abundance of wisdom inside of us. We all have a lot of knowledge inside of us. Everything that we need is really within us. It's really about tapping in and trusting yourself. I think the hardest thing in a self-help journey, in a powerful personal evolution journey, right? When you're trying to improve your life for the better, is embracing all of you, right? And really thinking about your own power. And what I love about all of these books that I recommended today is they all teach us about how powerful we are in mind, body, and spirit. Right? Once we allow ourselves to free ourselves from things that people have told us about who we are, or things that we have been taught to doubt about ourselves, once we free ourselves from those things and really start to trust our inner selves, our intuition, and use the power of our mind, especially our subconscious mind, it's life-changing. It's life-changing. So I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate all the love, all the comments. If this resonates with you, please share it with someone that you think would really benefit from it, and leave a comment. What books have you read that have dramatically changed your life? I would love to hear from you. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. My name is Julia. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to seeing you in videos to come. Have a beautiful day. I see you and I appreciate you.